Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the top 10 NFL draft prospects in the 2024 draft. I just want to quick say thank you for the support on the recent videos. It means a lot to see these comments that are positive. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Comment where these guys should be on the lists. Comment who should be on the list that didn't make it. I love seeing all the comments. I love seeing the support. Anyways, let's get into the video. First up on this list, I think it's no surprise Caleb Williams is the #1 quarterback in this draft class. A lot of people are hating on this guy. They don't like his nails. They don't like his phone case. They don't like the way he acts. That doesn't matter on the football field, believe it or not. This guy has shown for the past 2.5 seasons why he should be the #1 pick in this draft. He's an incredible improviser. I think in the NFL, he might struggle to gain his footing right away. But once he settles in and understands, the difference between NFL and college defenses, he's going to be quite fantastic as an NFL quarterback. #2 on this list is Drake May. I would say that the gap between Caleb Williams and Drake May is a lot smaller than a lot of people might think. Drake May, although isn't as great of an improviser as Caleb Williams is, and I think that's a pretty obvious trait that Caleb Williams possesses that is very elite. Drake May will probably succeed more to start in the NFL because of the ability to play in a structured offense. I think with structure, Drake May is a more talented quarterback than Caleb Williams. If they weren't allowed to improvise at all, I think Drake May would be the best quarterback in this draft class. But, that's not really something that happens. You can't just tell someone not to do something that is completely okay to do. Um, Drake May, obviously, the arm talent is there. The accuracy is shaky at times, but the guy is really fucking, sorry for cussing. The guy's really good, and I think he's the #2 quarterback in the draft class. A lot of people are going to say Jaden Daniels has stats, but stats don't matter. Quarterbacks get drafted on potential and tools, and Drake May has them. So that is why Drake May is my #2 overall guy. Speaking of Jaden Daniels, he is my #3 guy. Really succeeded at LSU this past year. Heisman season, obviously, the stats were incredible. So many touchdowns. Um, the guy was really, really accurate. Very decent quarterback when given the time, and the playmaking skills outside of the pocket, obviously, very good as well. Super fast guy. Not the most built player, which isn't really a problem at the quarterback position, unless you're Bryce Young, apparently. But you like to see him get a little smarter with the running aspect of his game. He takes a lot of big hits, which is pretty dangerous for a quarterback to do. But, sometimes it pays off and he gets a few more extra yards or 20 more extra yards. But either way, sliding is going to be something that whatever NFL team drafts him needs to drill into his head so that he remains healthy and remains available to them, because he will make a difference with whoever he gets to. I think has the capability to put up some like Justin Fields-esque stats. So #4, I went back and forth on. I landed on JJ McCarthy. Like I said when I was talking about Drake May, teams will draft quarterbacks based on their potential. The Chiefs drafted Mahomes number 10 or 12, whatever it was, and no one thought it was a good pick. No one thought it was a good pick. But the potential that he possessed was NFL legend, Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl winner. So can you blame them for taking a quarterback at 10 because they saw potential in him? Now, obviously, JJ McCarthy is no Patrick Mahomes. He has potential to be a very good quarterback in the NFL. He has the athleticism. He has a huge arm, throwing second fastest at the NFL Combine behind only Joe Milton, who we know has an extremely elite arm. I understand the criticism on JJ McCarthy. People want to see stats, and he didn't put them up, but he won games when they needed him most on clutch downs, third and fourth down. He was the best quarterback in this draft class, and it wasn't close. Like his third and fourth down statistics are insanely good. Like insanely good. If you just looked at his third down statistics, you would be like, why isn't this guy the number one overall pick in the draft? That's how good the stats are. But, um, it's something to pay attention to because that's when he was actually being used in this offense. But either way, there are some glaring faults to his game, and he needs to get rid of those. He struggles with the timing passes, hitches, curls, outs, quick routes, where he needs to get the ball to a specific place before the receiver is there. He struggles with at times, so he just needs to polish his game up once he gets to the NFL, develop. I like to see him going to a team where he can develop behind someone for a year or two. I don't like him starting right away. I really think that would be a bad idea, but we'll see what NFL teams value him at and how much they want to play him immediately. Another guy who was just great at winning games and the centerpiece of his offense, Michael Penix Jr. I'm becoming more and more of a fan of this guy as the draft process uh, ages. He is incredible accuracy, and his anticipation is elite. The injury history and the age is pretty much the reason why I'm valuing JJ McCarthy as a better prospect. McCarthy, I think, hasn't even turned 21 yet. He might be 21, but Penix already 24 years old. So, uh, NFL teams will take that into consideration when drafting these guys. And then the injury history, obviously, JJ McCarthy never had a major injury in high school or college, and Penix, I think just in college alone, has been injured 4 times with, serious season-ending injuries. So obviously, if Penix was 20 and he didn't have any injuries, I would be valuing him with Drake May and Caleb Williams as the number one guy in this draft. But he's been pretty unlucky and he's had a very long college career. So the experience helps him a lot. He's obviously developed a lot since he started college, which is, you know, something that you'll look at JJ McCarthy and think he can develop into a better player than Michael Penix is at the same age. So that's that's kind of the idea of drafting on potential rather than skill right now, especially at the quarterback position. At number 6 on my list, I have Bo Nix. I almost put him at number 7. He's really struggled postseason. He had a very bad, not bad, I don't want to say bad, but he struggled at the Senior Bowl, and his combine workouts, eh, it it really made JJ McCarthy look like a better player right now than him, and that's something that no one is really expecting out of JJ McCarthy to be better than a guy who's played college football for 5 seasons. Bo Nix obviously has the improv ability, not quite to the level of Caleb Williams, but at Auburn, at Oregon, he's shown that he can extend the play and find open guys downfield, um, work outside of the structure of the play, basically. But he struggled with accuracy at the Senior Bowl. He struggled with accuracy at the combine drills. It's something that I don't know how much you want to really look into, but he had some really good targets um, to work with. So maybe they carried him. I don't think that's the case. I think he's still a good quarterback, but it's hard to imagine him starting in the NFL um, right away unless he gets a very fortunate situation like an injury, or I don't know, maybe the guy ahead of him just struggles that bad. But I don't really know where he fits in the NFL draft anymore. There were times where he was getting picked in the top 10, um, and now I don't know if uh, he's not a day one pick, I don't think anymore, and I don't know if he is even a second round pick at this point. But we'll see how teams like him. We'll see how they evaluate um, that Senior Bowl and combine performance that he put together. Number 7 on my list is Spencer Rattler. I think he benefited a lot from moving into this more pro style offense at South Carolina rather than that spread offense at Oklahoma. I really like how he has developed over his time at South Carolina. Definitely struggled at first, but towards the end of last season, um, not this past season, but the season beforehand, he really started to he really started to show glimpses of that highly touted quarterback prospect that we were expecting him to be at Oklahoma. And then this season has just been very solid. I wouldn't say that he has improved his draft stock at all, but he played really good in big games, and he used his weapons the way they needed to be used. Xavier Legette, obviously, that big jump ball guy that he was able to take advantage of at his time at South Carolina. I think teams are going to like the fact that he's played in an offense that looks similar to theirs. They're going to be able to use him as a very valuable backup quarterback to start. He's not quite to that level where he should be starting, but with development and experience, I think he could be like a super good long time backup. We're talking Gardner Minshew, we're talking Ryan Fitzpatrick, we're talking those two guys. Maybe it's like a Kirk Cousins situation though. You never really know. I mean, with the right situation, the right tools around him, he could slide into a starting role and really exceed expectations. You never really know with these guys. Number 8 on the list, Jordan Travis. I think he could have easily been ranked number 6 had he not been injured. But that injury is really tough to come back from. I can't remember if it was Achilles or ACL. I know it was some lower leg injury that it's just difficult to return from, especially when you're in the NFL draft. That's just really bad timing, and I feel awful for him and Florida State as a whole. I wholeheartedly believe that they should have been in the college football playoff over Alabama, and I think they definitely would have given Michigan a run for their money as well, and maybe they could have been in the national championship, but Jordan Travis got hurt, and the committee found a way to keep them out of it. So it's tough. Jordan Travis showed a lot of promise as a top NFL prospect. Obviously, a very successful college career, but you got to look at the tools of his game. And when you're comparing him to the top guys in this NFL draft, he's smaller, he's very quick, but as a passer, he kind of lacks the abilities of an NFL quarterback, even though he does show a lot of promise with some of his throws. The consistency isn't quite there, but he is a very talented player, and I think like I always say, the right situation matters a lot, and I think with good offensive line play, good wide receivers, any quarterback can be successful. You look at guys like Brock Purdy, like literally the most perfect situation you could possibly see. He's a very accurate passer, doesn't quite jump off the page as the most incredible performer, but I mean, with the tools that he has, the line that he has, he's in the perfect situation for him, and you love the fit so much. He turns into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So you never know what can happen, especially with these guys down the board. Maybe the team that drafts him falls in love with him. They give him a chance, even with the coming back from the injury, and he exceeds expectations and becomes a NFL starter. This is another guy that really shined at the combine. I can't remember if he was at the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl, but played spectacular there. I'm valuing him over Joe Milton, yes. Michael Pratt out of Tulane. The guy is a very solid pocket passer. He throws great with anticipation. His awareness is fantastic. In a system of structure, he will be a very valuable backup quarterback. And I could see him, easily becoming a Minshew mania type of player. Visibly lacks the arm strength of some of the top end guys, but he still has enough arm strength to make those short to intermediate throws with great timing. So I'm not super worried about it. Teams aren't gonna teams aren't gonna use him um, in ways that exposes his negatives. So yeah, I'm really liking Michael Pratt. 4-year starter, maybe 3-year starter. I'm pretty sure he was a 4-year starter though. And every single season he's improved his accuracy and his intangibles, the timing, the awareness. His overall game has just gotten better every single year. And at the combine, he really showed that he should be talked about as a potential NFL starter, but a very valuable NFL backup. The pro day hero himself, Joe Milton the third. I really like Joe Milton, but I'm not so sure I love him as a player. Listen, you can have these incredible attributes. He's got insane athleticism, size, and throw power, um, but that might be all that he has. That remains to be seen. I mean, Anthony Richardson is a great comparison in terms of the raw talents and ability that he has, but he lacks the accuracy. He lacks um, kind of the awareness and anticipation that you need to see out of an NFL starting quarterback. I don't know how he's going to be evaluated at the NFL level. Obviously, he has some of the traits to be an NFL starting quarterback, but he lacks a lot of things that you need to be successful at the NFL level. That's why I'm putting him below Michael Pratt. A lot of these guys could be switched with the guy above them and vice versa, but I just don't know how to evaluate Joe Milton. I mean, I really like the aspects of his game that are good. Obviously, those are things that NFL GMs will probably fall in love with and get him drafted and get him a roster spot, but you need to see him develop, and he needs a lot of development. So we'll see where he ends up. So that was my list of the top 10 quarterback prospects in the 2024 draft cycle. Thanks again for watching. Please leave a like, leave a comment. Who did I leave off the list that should have made it? Who should have been ranked higher? Who should have been ranked lower? Let me know your thoughts. I love the feedback. Thank you for the support. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and help me on my journey to make money off of YouTube because that would be sweet. I'd really, really enjoy that.